welcome back to Handmade Now Hallmark. Today I've got this fun winter card featuring some awesome products from Simon Says Stamp. I love how this turned out. I hope you did too. Let's get into it. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do some ink blending on my panel of Bristol Smooth cardstock that I have die cut ahead of time to fit on my panel. And I'm going to be using some of my Distress Oxide inks. Again, I'll have everything listed in the description for you so you can use it or follow along. I really wanted to go for I wanted a winter theme, not a Christmas or Valentine's or anything like that, something for the winter. And I wanted to do this sort of silhouette look. So I'm going in with my favorite blue color combination. If you guys have been with me for a while, you know that this is one of my favorite ink blending combinations to create. It is Tumbled Glass, Salty Ocean, Chipped Sapphire, and Black Soot. I think this is a beautiful combination for winter skies. I think this would be a really fun card to do in like purples and pinks as well, for more of like a morning silhouette. But I wanted to go for kind of an evening silhouette, and these little evergreen tree border die from Simon was the perfect element for this. And I wanted to keep it fairly simple. I didn't want to go crazy. I wanted to keep it very just plain and generic. So once I had all of my ink blending done, I went in with some shimmer spray I created with water and perfect pearl powder and just spritzed the background to add just a little bit of shine. I was kind of thinking, it's getting frosty out, and how it, like, if it's really, really cold and the air starts to freeze, you get like this kind of misty, sparkly look in the sky. It's kind of what I was going for. Probably getting in my own head, but either way, I love the way it turned out. And then I went in with my Winsor Newton white gouache and added some splatters to the background as well, just to add some snow or stars, however you want to translate it. I was thinking of snowflakes, and I just take that white gouache, water it down, and then just took my paintbrush and tapped it gently. I didn't want to have a whole lot of snowflakes. I wanted to just have a few here and there. Like I said, I didn't want to go overboard. I wanted to be kind of simple and clean with this card. Next, I took the painted or script, I think this is the painted winter die from Simon Says Stamp. This is an older stamp, or it's not a stamp, it's a die. I'm sorry. It's an older die from Simon. I think you get it in like a 2-pack with a snow die as well. I used it, I want to say, in my Christmas in July series on a couple of cards. I love it so much. It's a wonderful little die. I think it's perfectly sized, and I love the script on it. And I die cut it 4 times from some white cardstock, and I'm just going to stack it up. I wanted to have a nice dimensional greeting on here because the card is so plain. I wanted to have a little bit of dimension to it, and I think this is the perfect way to do it. Now, if you wanted to, you could easily pop it up with foam tape if you feel like fiddling with foam tape. I do not like to do that anymore. I just lose my mind when I have to, but I like, using up scrap pieces that you don't have any use for. Just go through your stash, find some cardstock that you're not really a fan of, and use it as layering, and then just save the top layer for a nicer cardstock. Great way to get rid of some scrap paper that you don't really like. Now, in the finished card picture, or I think it's in the finished card picture, yeah. Once the card's finished, I forgot to put the little, I think it's called a tittle on the eye. I forgot to put it in when I was filming, but I put it in after, before I took pictures. So you'll see it in the pictures, but it's not in the video. Either way, moving on, I'm going to stamp down a little hello, and this is from the Tiny Words stamp set from Simon as well. And I just wanted to have a really tiny hello, so it says Hello Winter, and I wanted to stamp it on black cardstock and heat emboss it with some white embossing powder. So I stamped it down using some Versamark ink and using my Brutus Monroe Alabaster white embossing powder. And I just used the same scrap black that I used for my trees, and cut that out using a banner die. Really simple. I loved, like I said, I think this is probably my favorite card I've done recently. I haven't done very many, as you guys know, kind of had some things going on there at the end of the year, and I really wanted to get back into making cards, and this one it really turned out the way that I had pictured and planned in my mind, and I love how it looks, and I love the design idea, and I can't wait to use this little border die again. So cute, so just simple. I think that's going to be my focus for the new year, is trying to keep my cards on the simpler side. I think that'll help me, kind of get through some cards and really get some things knocked out. Now that I have that all finished, I have my card base here. This is just a top folding A2 piece of Simon's 110-pound cardstock, and I'm going to stamp a greeting on the inside, which I don't do very often, so I'm going to try to do that more this year as well. I am using the Missing You stamp set from Simon, and I'm going to be using the large sending and the small greeting that says "My love from across the miles." I felt like it was a nice greeting that you can just send a hello to someone who you don't get to see very often, or you may have missed them at the holidays, or you're just thinking of them and you want to send a greeting to make them feel better. So I'm just using this transparent grid mat. This is also from Simon. I think it's still available on their website. If it is, I'll make sure it's linked. And I'm just using it to help me line up my my greetings here so that they're straight. They're not perfectly straight, I've noticed, but it's not really that big of a deal. It's a handmade card. Nobody's going to be bothered by that, but the grid transparency does help you get things lined up. So got that all lined up here, and I'm just going to pick it up with my MISTI door and stamp it down using some of that VersaFine Onyx Black ink, and also going to stamp the large sending greeting using the chipped Sapphire ink I used to ink blend the background. So just kind of bring everything back together, pull things, so it's all kind of matchy. That's kind of what I like to do. So get that sending lined up right above that other greeting. I love how you can kind of mix and match from this greeting. Really, really cute. I love this. I wanted to have something that was kind of on the, miss you, those sorts of things. I have so many holiday and fall sorts of cards that I really needed to get kind of, or not cards, but products. I needed to get some more generic miss you, hey there, thank you sorts of stamps as well. So here we can start assembling the card. Got all my elements together, and I was having some issues with my glue, you guys. Because I haven't been crafting in a while, my glue got kind of clogged, and then it got kind of weird, and it was a mess. So I eventually got a glue that was working just fine for me, and I'm just going to adhere that flat down to my card panel. And I love the nice thin white frame around this. Brings more of that white in from the greeting, really rounds out the card, and I think it looks fantastic. I am going to be using my Bearly Arts liquid adhesive for my tree border. I've seen some people use those sticky sheets, I think that they are, from Simon, where you just kind of press your die cut or whatever it is into the sticky mat and it leaves it all sticky on the back. I've never had any luck with that kind of stuff, so I just stick with liquid glue. It has never failed me in the past, and I don't plan on changing that. So, and this adhered beautifully. I just pressed it down really nice and laid some acrylic blocks on it, and it's adhered perfect. I love it. Turns out great. Now that I have that all finished, we can get our greeting adhered as well. So I'm just going to use that same liquid glue, and I love that crisp white against that nice, rich, dark background. So much fun. I love how this turned out. Again, I think this would be really pretty to do kind of like a purple to pink kind of background. I don't know how the black would look kind of against the purple and pink. Maybe like a light gray or something along those lines. But I really like the silhouette look. Turned out just how I had planned, and I think it looks great. So just had some acrylic blocks on top of that dimensional greeting just to help adhere it down, and then I'm going to adhere my little hello right above that, and you can see here that I completely forgot about adding the dot on my eye. I didn't realize it until after I had it all done and completed, but either way, it still looks great. I'm going to go in with my Wink of Stella glitter brush pen and add some shimmer and shine to that die cut. Again, just to, gotta have sparkle, gotta add a little bit because it's better than glitter. I know it's like a glitter, but it doesn't rub off, it doesn't get everywhere all over your craft space, and I think it looks great. The final thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with some Simply White crystal drops and add just a few snowflakes where I felt like I needed a few more, and I had a little helper come in and wanted to see what I was up to, and that will finish up this card for today. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider hitting the like button as well as to subscribe so you don't miss out on any more videos here at my YouTube channel. It's free to do and helps YouTube bring all of this content to you. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video. I really appreciate all of your support, all of your likes, and your subscriptions, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll see you again real soon. Bye!
On screen, I've got a few videos that I think you'll enjoy. Consider hitting the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any more videos at my YouTube channel.